Hello, I'm Max, and I make scheduled videos. As you may remember from previous video, I was meant to upload something a bit ago, but I stood my laptop, okay? Now the video you're going to see, I'm filmed 2 months ago. I'm very sorry, Dave. I've been very lazy with this. So anyway, it's very long overdue, but here's Dave's Doctor Who tag. Enjoy. Hello, I'm Max. And today, I have a guest. His name is Dave. How you flog lobbing?
Good, thank you.
How was the ketchup thing? Because we're filming this before the ketchup thing. So how was it, Dave?
It was quite fun getting
quite dirty. Ugh. So as you may know, I did the Doctor Who tag a few days ago. It's a very basic one. Now, there's not many Doctor Who people I know apart from Dave. And there's not many bigger than Dave. How long have you been watching Doctor Who for, Dave?
Right, so let's try and put a date on this because I watched it before it.
Before 2005?
Because, actually I'm going to tell a story.
Oh, go on then.
I went with my father for a canal walk.
Okay.
And I came back, and this was probably when I was about 5 or 6.
Okay.
And do you know of the Peter Cushing Doctor Who Dalek movies?
I think I've seen bits of it.
Because my mother was ironing watching the second one.
Okay.
And I was quite enraptured by the whole experience.
So you liked Doctor Who before it was cool then?
Yeah.
Some would say
hipster points right there.
I'm going to do the Doctor Who tag with Dave, and I've kind of spiced up the questions a bit to make it more Dave friendly.
Which doctor would you snog, marry and avoid?
Probably to marry would be the third, because probably more difficult. 10th is probably sexy, so better for snogging.
10 for snogging, okay.
But probably there would be times where you'd fall out with each other.
Oh, of course.
If you were married. And kill. Even the War Doctor is justifiable considering the circumstances. I suppose I'd go for 11 or 13, as he might be called now.
Considering
well, Matt Smith might technically be 13 at this point.
Yeah, go on.
He's one that probably annoyed me a few times, so that's probably if I had to choose one.
Oh, Matt Smith fangirls, they won't like this.
Who is your favourite doctor?
Probably might go for 10th. People always talk about the Doctor they grew up with.
Yeah.
And I suppose while I watched the classic show, it was more sort of bits and pieces. So probably the 10th was the one I was consistently watching and growing up with. And also I just really liked the energy and the oldness that you felt that there had been all these lives before and the tragedy.
This is in depth. This is kind of very highbrow for my standard of videos. So thank you, Dave, for raising the bar.
What's your least favourite story?
Probably for annoyingness, okay. Let's Kill Hitler.
Let's Kill Hitler. Really? I quite like that one. And what way was it annoying? Just that, there's too many plot points being rambled up here.
I felt smug. And I think so, like in the teaser, when it's like about Hitler, and you think what it'll be about, and then it's not, and then it's sort of to establish a universe and family relationships that you don't have any conception of knowing.
What is your favourite Doctor Who story?
I'll start with probably favourite from the classic, favourite from the new. So favourite from the classic has only niche appeal is Inferno.
But which Doctor's that?
Which is John Pertwee.
Okay.
It's the final story of his first season. Again, this is probably a controversial opinion from the new series, is the Utopia Sound of the Drums Last of the Time.
No, that's a very good storyline, that. That's easily one of the best. I put myself Blink because I'm unoriginal. Actually, no, I didn't put Blink. I didn't put Blink because I actually said, even though I regard it as technically the best episode, I didn't think it was the best story. It's what you define as story, because it had a lot of interesting monsters, interesting characters. That's not necessarily a good story. So I actually put the Impossible Planet story.
Oh, okay.
With the Satan bit. I just found that fascinating as a story.
I was probably my favourite of that season.
Yeah, of Unsubtle Fears.
Who is your favourite companion?
Sarah Jane Smith.
And why is that?
Very unoriginal, I know, but
well, for a lot of people who've watched the show since 2005,
I suppose,
they've only seen her a couple of times, and they go, "Oh, she used to be popular." All right then.
When she appeared, and in a time where there was, I don't know if it's true, like all girls were screamers at that point. It's like
70s kind of stuff.
It's like it's not necessarily like a true dichotomy like people might put, but I'd say like probably one of the first like properly independent companions.
Okay.
Also one who was really had that great moral dimension of just really believing in it, really looking and helping with trying to help the Doctor.
The great thing with editing is I can edit things so Dave says certain things. So Dave, yes or no, are you a man?
Yes.
Dave, do you hate gay people?
Yes.
He said yes! Oh my god!
What is your favourite era or series of Doctor Who?
I would say the Russell T Davies era.
Russell T Davies. And which series, if you had to pick a series then?
3 or 29 if you want to.
3 or 29? 29 from the old, I'm guessing.
Yeah, from 29 if you consider what series 3 would be.
Oh, right.
All of the episodes build together pretty well because there seems to be a running theme throughout that series about what it means to be human. The finale is the big question, which I think is asked in the first series of Tortured as well, is humanity intrinsically good or bad? It could be one way or the other depending. The Tolkien at the end have cannibalised themselves and
spoilers
their humanity, whereas through Martha telling the stories of the Doctor throughout and using the Master's hypnotic techniques of the Archangel network, humanity is able to bond together to help each other through reviving the Doctor, therefore showing that
collective redemption then.
They can be good, but in the future they can be good at least now, and that's possibly the best thing to do, be good for this moment, whereas in the future things may go bad for humanity.
What is the worst series of Doctor Who?
Series 6. Because I said I've probably got some differing views in some of the episodes. Like, that was also the two ones I didn't particularly go for the Doctor's wife. And there's the Let's Kill Hitler.
You didn't like Doctor's wife, really? I'm not going to go around and get after this one off. I'm deleting this video now. He doesn't like what I like.
Yeah, I think the storylines didn't engage me as much as I think. I'm not, because I suppose while I perhaps am those people who's a bit critical of the Moffat era, I'm not saying that the whole thing was bad. I think the first Matt Smith series,
series 5 was great.
Was fantastic.
Yeah.
And so it's not like it was like a complete difference. I think that was where the cracks started showing, but each one's...
Oh, spoilers.
I'd say each series though has had good episodes and bad episodes.
Oh yeah, obviously.
So it's not like it's saves all.
I haven't actually written this down. Is there one episode you refuse to ever watch again? Because there is for me.
Probably just haven't gotten round to watching a few from more recent years again. But if I was, probably Let's Kill Hitler is one I probably wouldn't want to rewatch again.
Okay.
As I say, my curiosity might get the better of me, and I'll...
What about the one with Peter Kay as the absorbing monster?
Now obviously that's... I get a feeling that might be the one.
Because I watched that in 2006, and I've rewatched Doctor Who twice, and each time I've refused to watch it. I haven't seen that since I was 14 years old.
I love that episode.
Well, we're definitely deleting this video now.
I grew to like it more. I liked it, and then grew to love it. I think it's because it's about the people who are left behind, and I think I've perhaps enjoyed those sort of stories of like, essentially while the Doctor and Rose
go off and do their own thing.
There's a sort of tragedy of those who've been briefly touched by the Doctor's life, but essentially experienced tragedy. And because it's not a really happy story.
Can you admit? That's an interesting take. Will you admit that the monster is awful, though?
It was designed by a Blue Peter competition, if I remember.
God.
So I think I don't know I'd like to know which stage happened first, like whether the monster was given in and then Russell T Davies thought of a story round it, or he had a story and then added a monster to it.
What is your favourite pre or post Regeneration story?
So yeah, Caves of Androzani.
Which Doctor's that?
That's the Peter Davison into Colin Baker.
Okay.
Spearhead from Space with the third Doctor.
Really? This is in a post one?
Yeah.
This is the spiced up version. Now, which actual regeneration is your favourite? The actual physical regeneration?
The Caves of Androzani Regeneration.
Which Doctor's that?
So that's the Peter Davison.
The
fifth
to sixth.
That's my favourite because I suppose what leads up to it is the fact that he's potentially sacrificing his life to do it. And also all his companions will him to live, and his enemies will him to die.
Master pops up. Now you die, Doctor. You die!
That's like the most interesting visual.
Okay.
I would say that without saying the new series, that they've all used the glowing orange light.
They've kind of standardised it, haven't they?
Whereas, you know, all the other ones regenerated in different ways.
Which allowed for a bit more variety then, didn't it?
Which, so, I'd say that it was probably better if they mixed up the ideas of how regeneration happened.
Really?
What is your favourite TARDIS desktop theme?
Yeah, because all the classic show had a sort of similar design throughout. Which I suppose I grew up with, and I quite like the one Peter Capaldi has. If only just because it's got all the library going
It's
around.
slightly modified from Matt Smith's previous one, wasn't it?
Are there any TARDIS desktop components you have found inadvertently sexual?
To be honest with you, I've never considered the possibility of a sexualised TARDIS.
Surely not. What about Matt Smith's first TARDIS interior? The thing that goes up and down. What do you think that looks like?
I'd never thought of it like that before.
A glass... What's in the previous film? A glass dildo.
What is your favourite villain or monster?
Monster is the Daleks. Maybe because of the first experience. Anything a monster, they're not complex creatures.
No, they're
Most
simple,
monsters aren't complex, really. They sort of... I suppose because... Where the Daleks specifically have that sort of fascistic thing going for them, born out of the post-World War II haze and nuclear fears. And I think just the design is perfect.
Okay.
It has both the... It's not like a man wearing a costume, but it is also running alongside and perhaps contradictory as well, the thing that you could sit inside one as well.
Okay.
They seem to have...
So you'd quite like to drive one then, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. I think we all would, really. Villain then. What about the villain?
The Master, I'd say.
So it's because he's a lot more complex. His Mystic wants a kind of very basic need. It's not a need, but he wants to dominate the universe.
Yes.
But he said that he has a much more sort of complex relationship with the Doctor. If you exclude more the classic series, he seems very simplistic, his kind of relationship with the Doctor.
I suppose people, perhaps even before John Sim, can interpret things, or I think because the fact that the Doctor and the Master keep going at each other, that don't ever end up trying to kill each other properly. It almost seems like they always let each other go.
Yeah.
Because either they were friends before. There was a theory that went round, which I sort of quite like, that the Master's plots were just an excuse to have a fight with the Doctor. And
so secretly he was in love with him. Anyway, that was Dave's Doctor Who tag. If you want to see our previous video where he pours ketchup in my hair, in my face, and other parts, you can watch that. I'll put a link below, why not? So Dave, thank you for being here. He's been Dave.
he's been Max.
Ta-ra!